Good evening, and thank you for joining us. A woman has been sentenced to 22 years in prison for manslaughter and child abuse of her 5-year-old son. The boy weighed only 9.7 kilograms at the time of his death 4 years ago. Hiba Khan reports.
The defendant had earlier pleaded guilty to manslaughter and child abuse. She was known to be a drug user and had 3 children. According to witness testimonies, she showed favoritism towards her other children and had openly expressed dislike for the boy. When he refused to sleep at night, she would tie his limbs, beat him with a rattan stick, and slap him. In September 2022, the mother reported that her son had passed away. An autopsy report revealed 129 injuries on the child's body, and he weighed only 9.7 kilograms. The direct cause of death was severe malnutrition, which the forensic pathologists believed was due to starvation. In her sentencing remarks, Judge Susana Maria de Amalda Remedios noted that the boy had been deprived of food, water, education, and was skin and bones. She also stated that the defendant lacked the basic empathy expected of a mother, calling the case a heartbreaking and horrific tragedy. Hiba Khan, TVB News.
Typhoon Dolphin is currently barreling towards Japan's Okinawa prefecture from the Pacific Ocean, affecting several flights traveling between Hong Kong and the Japanese islands on Friday. This as the Hong Kong Observatory notes the tropical storm Kujira, that's currently located in the middle of the South China Sea, is set to gradually weaken over time, posing little direct threat to the city. Timothy Lee has more.
As Typhoon Dolphin makes its way across Japan's southern waters towards Okinawa Prefecture, weather authorities have now rolled out Dolphin possibly becoming a super typhoon. Following a string of flight cancellations by Hong Kong Express and Greater Bay Airlines, Hong Kong Airlines will also axe 4 flights traveling between Hong Kong and Okinawa on Friday. The observatory forecasts Dolphin will barrel towards the Ryukyu Islands in the next 2 to 3 days, before entering the East China Sea, where it will likely make landfall on the eastern Chinese coast and move towards the north of the nation. As for Tropical Storm Kujira, located near the Philippines, it is projected to edge east towards Luzon, before weakening over time owing to the Fujiwara effect. Weather authorities know the Fujiwara effect is a phenomenon that takes place when 2 tropical cyclones are in close distance. The effect will then weaken the cyclone, with the observatory saying the chance of issuing the #1 standby signal remains low, unless Kujira takes an unexpected track towards the Guangdong coast. Locally, the observatory expects very hot weather throughout this week, with more isolated showers across the city. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The Trump administration is reportedly drafting a ban on imports of new models of Chinese data center components as it seeks to protect the infrastructure that undergirds the AI boom. The Federation Communications Commission is working on the measure to bar imports of new Chinese optical transceivers that sources told Reuters could come into effect later this year. The move is purported to prevent Chinese firms from taking data, installing malware, or disrupting service at U.S. data centers that house the chips to train and run AI models. The White House and the FCC did not respond to requests for comment. The Chinese embassy in Washington says Beijing urges the U.S. to stop smearing Chinese companies and threatening them with sanctions. The measures could have negative impact on Chinese companies such as Zhongji Enolite, which is on the Pentagon's list of alleged Chinese military-backed companies in June. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russian missile and drone attacks on Kyiv and the surrounding region killed 17 people and wounded 44 overnight. Danny Rao tells us more.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia fired 24 ballistic missiles, 4 other missiles identified as either hypersonic Zircons or supersonic Onyx, and 115 drones, many of them jet-powered, in the attack. Zelensky says the strikes mainly targeted warehouses belonging to civilian businesses, as well as infrastructure and a railway station, hitting sites that he described as with no connection to the war, including a brewing company, building materials warehouses, and civilian logistics facilities. Zelensky also posted a video on social media that he said showed a Russian drone hunting a man selling vegetables from a street stall in the southern city of Kherson. He suffered wounds to his back, legs and arms. A United Nations commission concluded in October 2025 that such drone attacks amount to crimes against humanity. Meanwhile, hundreds of Ukrainian mourners walked behind the open casket of Vitalina Yarovenko, a 20-year-old university student killed by a Russian strike shortly after she rushed to help people wounded in an earlier attack. The farewell began at St. Michael's Golden Domed Cathedral in Kyiv, where clergy read prayers and relatives and friends said goodbye. Her family said they had asked mourners to wear white or traditional Ukrainian embroidered shirts instead of the black commonly worn at funerals, so that Vitalina would not feel too sad. Elsewhere, local authorities say 7 people were killed, including 3 children, and 58 wounded by a Ukrainian drone attack in Archipo-Osipovka, a small town on Russia's Black Sea coast in the Krasnodar region. Ukrainian officials say the drone only fell on the beach in Galenchik because it was shot down by Russian air defenses, adding Kyiv uses its weapons exclusively against the Russian military-industrial complex and economic infrastructure facilities. Danaral TV News.
The United States revokes Brazil ambassador's visa in a retaliatory move after Brazil refused to issue diplomatic visas to 2 State Department officials and held off confirmation of U.S. President Donald Trump's handpicked ambassador nominee. The move fuels diplomatic tension between the nations on the eve of Brazil's upcoming presidential election. Gloria Feng has more.
The Brazilian government condemns the American State Department's latest decision to alter the visa status of its ambassador to the U.S., Maria Luisa Viotti. In a Reuters report which cites a senior State Department official, the move comes as retaliation for Brazil's refusal last month to issue visas to 2 State Department officials and a delay in approving U.S. President Donald Trump's nominee for ambassador to Brazil. The source goes on to say if Brazil rescinds these diplomatic decisions, its ambassador's American visa would be restored. The Brazilian government in a statement calls the reasons cited by the U.S. for its latest political maneuver false. It also stands by its decision to deny entry to the 2 U.S. officials, citing their intent to question the integrity of Brazil's electoral system as unacceptable meddling of internal affairs. This comes as Brazil's Workers' Party officially nominated 80-year-old President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who faces increasing pressure from foreign leaders as he seeks re-election for a 4th presidential term this October. Lula's rival, Senator Flávio Bolsonaro, has enjoyed open support from members of Trump's administration, Argentina's President Javier Milei, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In the latest bid by the current Brazilian electoral authorities to ensure the integrity of the election process, the country introduces new voting machines, which officials say puts the process through multiple security checks and audits. This comes as supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro, father of Flávio, continue to raise unsubstantiated claims of electoral fraud. Gloria Feng, TVB News.
Back locally, the Joint University Programs Admission System result shows more than 15,600 applicants secured undergraduate degree program offers, making up 34.3% of total applicants. That's 1.7% less than last year. 21 out of 24 scholars are choosing to stay in Hong Kong to study medicine. And Izzy Auden reports.
More than 45,000 candidates taking the Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education examination applied for the Joint University Programs Admission System, or JUPAS. JUPAS reports participating institutions offered undergraduate places to 34% of the applicants this year, a drop of 1.7% from last year, marking a 4-year low. But over 80% of the students secured a spot in one of their top 3 choices. An additional of 4,979 students received offers under study subsidy scheme for designated professions or sectors. 24 top scorers achieved 5-star in at least 6 subjects in this year's HKDSC. The University of Hong Kong admitted 12 of them, 9 of them entering the Faculty of Medicine, others in Politics, Law, and the BBA. The HKU Faculty of Medicine has an enrichment year program to ensure students learn beyond medicine as they believe diversity is important. They could go into the hospital, undertake a second degree in another university, go abroad, do a research project, or participate in service learning.
We need diversity. in our understanding of culture, in our understanding of the world economy, in our understanding of the healthcare system in the world, and in fact the different disease spectrum from around the world. Our future doctors, I believe, will not only serve the people of Hong Kong.
The University of Hong Kong admitted 33 local non-Chinese speaking students this year, the highest among the top 8 universities in Hong Kong. The other 12 top scorers were admitted to Faculty of Medicine in Chinese University of Hong Kong. A total of 2,855 undergraduates received offers from CUHK. The Hong Kong University of Science and Technology took in 1,280 students through JUPAS. City University of Hong Kong and the Education University of Hong Kong admitted around 1,600 and 770 applicants, respectively. And this is Xiaodan, TVB News.
Latest figures show graduates from the city's 8 universities earn an average annual salary of $336,000. That's up 2% from a year earlier. But the graduates' underemployment rate rises to 6%. The University Grants Committee unveiled the employment figures of the city's 8 publicly funded universities in the 2024-25 academic year. While the bulk of the graduates have full-time employment, the proportion stands below 70%, nearly 20% opt for further studies. The graduates' underemployment rates, meanwhile, rose 1.9 percentage point to 6.1%, marking new highs in recent years. Human resource consultant Rebecca Chan says the underemployment rates are markedly higher than the city's overall figure, and that's likely because of their preference for freelancing or part-time gigs, especially to explore their future paths in the first 2 years after graduation. Noting that the youth unemployment rate has risen to 11%, Chan says beefing up their AI, communication skills, and work attitude are key. By institution, graduates from the University of Hong Kong top the rankings with an average annual salary of $400,000, but the figure slipped by around $1,000 compared with the previous year. That's followed closely by graduates from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, whose average annual salary rose nearly 4.7% to $399,000. Education University graduates ranked 3rd, earning an average of $353,000 a year. By discipline, medicine, dentistry, and nursing graduates remain the best pay, with average annual earnings reaching $554,000. Education graduates ranked 2nd at $363,000, followed by science graduates. The Labor Department has been using drones to detect safety violations on construction sites since October last year. As of last month, over 200 prosecutions have been initiated. Hiba Khan has the details.
The Labor Department formed a flight team with infrared camera-equipped drones to overcome terrain obstacles and monitor whether workers are following safety measures. These cameras will be able to detect suspicious heat sources on site, which can help identify potential fires.
It can be used for aerial photographing, okay? And on the other hand, the drones can be used to detect irregularities on site without alerting any people nearby. Okay, so with the use of drones, we have successfully detected a lot of irregularities on site.
The drones have assisted 64 enforcement actions over the course of 10 months, which have resulted in 224 prosecutions and the issuance of 623 statutory notices. Drone cameras also provide clear images showcasing whether workers have fastened their safety belts or are wearing helmets. In case of industrial accidents, they can also be used to take photos and create 3D models, making it easier to investigate the cause. Despite their significant advantages, drones still have limitations. Their ability to detect heat sources can be hindered by walls or other obstructions, and they can't be deployed in severe weather conditions, such as heavy rain. Separately, 39 fixed penalty notices have been issued since the full smoking ban on site about half a month ago. Another 11 improvement notices have also been issued to contractors. Smoking is strictly prohibited on construction sites. Further developments using drones include integrating AI thermal imaging to strengthen enforcement and improve site safety. Hiba Khan, TVB News.
Beginning next Thursday, the Food Expo as well as 4 other wellness-focused fairs will take place at the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center for 5 days. Zachary Ebb has more.
lamb from Inner Mongolia, as well as non-bred from northern China. Visitors can easily get a taste of the grassland without traveling far. How about a cup of tea to offer some calmness during busy shopping? Starting next Thursday, the Hong Kong Trade Development Council will run 5 fairs with a wellness focus, showcasing global foods, tea culture, healthy living and smart home innovations. The 5 fairs will bring together more than 1,850 exhibitors from over 30 countries and regions, including some first-timers such as Colombia and Greece, as well as ASEAN countries like Brunei. This Thai donut brand is making its debut at the fair, hoping to tap into the mainland market with interesting flavors.
I think that people are so different and you have a lot of people there. And I think it will be very fun that I can explore more ingredients to do a new flavor. Maybe mala donut, hot pot donuts.
Some fairs are open to both trade buyers and the public. At the 3-day Food Expo Pro, the last day will also be open to both trade buyers and the public. This year, the expo introduces a new meat zone and features pet food products for the first time. Ms. Lau, chairman of the Pet Development Standing Committee, said that seeing the growing potential of the pet economy, manufacturers would like to explore the market in the Greater Bay Area, which has a larger population, offering more choices to pet lovers. The entry fee of 5 exhibitions is 30 Hong Kong dollars. Visitors can also pay a $10 top-up fee to enter the gourmet zone on the same day. Sakarib, TVB News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.